I'd like to call to order the special meeting of the Cave Creek Unified School District Governing Board. Today is December 1st, and it is 5:05 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 1.3, roll call. All members of the board are present, and Mr. Dolezal. Item 1.4, formal adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All righty. Item 2.1, our new business. Discussion and possible action with McPherson and Jacobson representatives regarding the superintendent search. At this point, I will turn it over to McPherson and Jacobson.
I'll start with Jennifer's. My name's Don Broadley. Jennifer Cameron. Jennifer, mostly speaking a little bit about myself. So, you know, I was a superintendent in Oregon for about 25 years. In districts all the way from as small as 500 up to the last district I was in about 40,000. Thank you. Thank you.
Can you repeat all that?
Thank you. Did you guys get all that, or do you? Okay. And so here with McPherson and Jacobson, thank you for allowing us to be here. And I'm sure that Jennifer talked about, we try to pride ourselves in making sure the superintendent finalists that we bring you can be a match for this district and for the superintendent coming. So we have met with 4 different stakeholder groups today, and thank you to your superintendent for being the lead on that, putting together everything. Everything went really well, and we'll compile all of those stakeholder comments. You'll have each and every comment from each stakeholder group, and you'll be able to see what their input to the school board is regarding the selection of the next superintendent. So I'll turn it over to Jen.
Madam President, members of the board, thank you so much, and we're grateful to be here, and we're excited. We're excited to move forward on finding Cave Creek an amazing superintendent. So for an agenda for what we are going to accomplish this evening, we are going to go over a calendar, establishing the calendar. Then we're going to go over kind of what advertising venues you guys would choose to use. We're going to establish, the biggest part of tonight is establishing the selection criteria. And then we're going to discuss a little bit about compensation, or about a range that we can advertise along with this. One thing that we do need to get for sure is our point of contact, who you want my point of contact to be. If it's whether president of the board, secretary, whether you want Jill to be main contact, but this is going to be someone who will, when we get ready to set up the interviews, gets everything lined up in the district, how the day's going to flow and everything like that, and then just so that there's continues to be good communication back and forth. So just whoever that point of contact is, we'll just need to know kind of by the end of the night, or
Yeah, hopefully soon, because things are going to be happening fairly quick. In a lot of cases, it's the administrative assistant, whoever your board secretary is. But really, it's up to the board who they would like to be our point of contact. Somebody that maybe knows the district, logistics, able to access your timelines and timelines of others that are going to be needed for the district.
Well, right now, I would, my suggestion is that Jill is our point of contact, since as board members, we can't contact everybody. So my vote's for you.
yeah. Jill, you seem very excited about that.
Okay, well,
Okay.
there you go.
Okay, Jill?
One thing done.
Touch, we'll get your number.
Congratulations.
Yes. Okay, and then I did get word that we do have the online survey ready as well, so we can get that on as early as tomorrow.
Yeah, so I just forwarded it to your IT. It will be ready. It will be available both in English and Spanish. Once it becomes open, and it'll be open to be able to access to the district website, it'll be able on your school websites, it'll be in English and Spanish, and then it will run for 10 days.
What is that again? Survey?
It's a K-12 online survey, so it's going to be asking a lot of these same questions that we asked your stakeholder groups. What are the positive things about the district? What are the positive things about the community? What are some challenges that new superintendent, challenges and issues that new superintendent should be aware of? And then the third is, what characteristics and traits would you like to see in the next superintendent, he or she coming in? In addition, it also lists, it'll be a bar chart, and it will have, talk to us, how do most people in the community feel about the academic achievement of the school district? About the transparency, communication. There's about 8 or 9 different categories. It just gives a bar, and it goes all the way from poor, fair, excellent, good, and it goes over there. And then that will come to the board members, along with each and every comment, if you choose to read each and every comment. What we do after doing the stakeholder groups and we read the surveys, we try to put together an executive summary for you, but you are more than willing to go through and read each and every comment, and on those comments it'll tell you this was a community member, this was a staff member, this was a staff and community member, this was, it'll break it down on who your users were. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It's not only, a lot of people use it not just in superintendent searches, but just trying to get a quick picture of how the community's feeling about the school district.
And Don, real quick, so we were also going to send, do you recommend just putting it on the district and school websites as a pop-up? Or we were going to send it through Parent Square to make sure it went to all of our parents, send it to our business partners, specifically those groups, as well as have it on those web pages? Is that what?
Perfect. That is
Okay.
totally up to the school district how you would
All the above.
access it. I believe the more access you can get, the more information you're going to get as board members.
Okay.
Does it have a method to stop people from going through different, not that people would, but to keep people from going through different portals and resubmitting information? Or can they do that?
We are doing Gilbert district, and had that board member ask me that question. And I didn't know the answer, but I do have the answer now. A person could submit more than one time. Just know that. But you also get all those comments. You will get
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
comments.
Okay.
They haven't figured out the end. I told them it would be great, because that was a concern of one board member, didn't get somebody that just keeps going.
The more opportunity we have to get it out there, whether it's community, business partners, parents, staff, the more touch points, the
Right.
better, I think it would be.
And just congratulate this board. A lot of boards, they will not do stakeholder groups. And you guys are doing stakeholder groups, you're wanting that information, so.
Who is all in that stakeholder group?
Stakeholder groups were made up of teachers, secondary teachers, elementary teachers, classified staff, and
Leadership.
So leadership was.
And we had community and students.
And the community and student group.
Superintendent was all set up an extra one, actually, where we come out to the parents, and there were, I believe, 3 students.
Any other questions on the online survey?
Maybe the one question, is it okay, we're working with your IT, and I can work with superintendent on, we usually do a test, and so we could make it live, but we want to make sure everything's open, get that to you, so maybe have it go live Wednesday or Thursday. Is that okay with you? And then it'll be open for 10 days.
As long as we know it's working,
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to test it, we want to make sure everything's working, and we hit it live, and then we're able to test.
And then is that data combined with the stakeholder data, or we'll receive it from two different? Will we get all the data?
It's two separate reports.
Okay.
Just the way that it's, because him and I will compile all of our notes from the stakeholder groups that we met with in person, and then the survey has its own. That is going to be something I talk about on calendar item is, obviously, we already have the stakeholder group. We just have to actually make our report. So that's going to be done before the survey is going to be done. And I know you have a board meeting next week. So when we get into calendar, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Like if we want to wait and combine the two, and when we present on both of them. If you'd rather have it just presented by email, or if you just want like a partial presentation, maybe at your next board meeting on what we had from the stakeholder groups here, and then you get the rest by email. There's some different ways that we can do that.
Okay.
So,
To your point, Women Walker, usually almost in every one of these, you generally see some trends even on online versus the individual stakeholder.
Yeah.
So usually there's some trend data that's the same, but we can do it in two separate, we can put it together, and like I said, we will provide you an executive summary, but also if somebody really wants to dive into each and every comment, you'll be able to go through and read all the comments.
Now, is the survey 10 business days or 10 consecutive days?
consecutive, I
Okay.
believe. Yes.
It matters.
It does.
Yeah, 10 consecutive days.
People, engage on certain days.
All right, good. Okay, so next, if you have your calendars in front of you, that's one next thing we are going to focus on, because we need to put some dates on there. First and foremost, we're going to start at the end of when we want to announce the new superintendent. And we can tell you what our goal would be, and then we can hear from you and see your thoughts on this. Typically, a superintendent search we do it ends up being anywhere between 8 and 12 weeks. Our goal would be to have that announced at your February 21st board meeting. That would be an ideal date. But again, that is kind of up to the board as far as when you would want that announcement made.
I think as long as it's before spring break, as long as that gives us enough time. February 21st seems so soon.
It's a Saturday,
Yeah, I know. It's like,
Yeah.
wow.
so the 24th?
When is spring break?
It's that first week of March, like the 6th. I know there's half days those last, is it 5th and 6th? And then spring break's the following week. Yeah.
We try to work around your board meetings so you don't have another one. but
Yeah.
because the board can't call a special meeting.
Do we have a board meeting right before spring break, or is it after for March? When's our next?
I've got Tuesday, the 24th, as a governing board work study.
February or
what I got.
March?
Yeah, February 2026.
February.
It's a work study.
Okay.
And then 21st is our
So our first board meeting is not till the 17th.
Correct. In March, then, it doesn't go until,
Because right now, what we have set would be,
17th.
we would have the final candidates into your district for interviews the week of the 16th. And that means that week is typically at the same time when they get their interviews. You, as a board, will have that final interview. Usually have them decided, but then announce it that following board meeting.
This
Yeah, or the 20th.
search is starting a little
So they're
late.
doing interviews
sorry?
this day.
This search is starting a little late in the whole process. So realistically, is that date in February truly a doable date?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's even, made sure we took the proper time to give enough time for the position to be opened. Right now, we have it that if we went and had it on the website, advertising for the position, if we had that completed by, let's say, the end of this week, beginning of next week, that we wouldn't close that position until January 15th. So give enough time for applicants, and then that gives us, the consultants, 2 weeks of complete vetting time, which that there's no, we don't budge around that. We make sure we have 2 weeks for sure to make sure we do our due diligence and get everything researched. And so that's with that time frame. And then with that, we come to the board with maybe however many finalists you want. Some boards have 4, some 5. We'll come to you with that. You can decide whether or not you just want that to come via kind of, they each send videos as far as kind of their, about them, and then we have you narrow it down from that point to your usually final 2, and those are the ones that we have come out for the actual in-person interviews. Be here for your
So
district.
none of them do like a town hall with the community to ask
That would be
questions, the
part of
final?
that interview process. Typically, we have them come separately for a day apiece, and they usually start at 8 a.m. at the district, and they're all the way until the evening. They meet with different groups, kind of a town hall situation.
Usually, Board Member Walker, it's the finalists that will come out, and that'll be up to you guys. Some boards elect, it's just gonna be board, we're doing it, we don't want any stakeholder input. I've seen other districts, you will know, we know who's on that stakeholder group. Some board members will pick, each board member will pick 2 to 3 citizens. They'll go through a community group. Some people want a whole community out there listening. It's really going to, we're going to get into that aspect of how do you see the interview process.
Okay.
So it's just, do you guys feel it's doable in those, at least that final announcement date?
Did you say the 21st of February?
I think it'd be the
24th.
It'd be the 24th.
Board meeting, yeah.
I would say as long as we have, I mean, the candidates are going to dictate
Yeah.
the turn. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
without someone to talk to, I mean, that determines whether we can get across the finish line or not. I like the target.
Yeah, I like the target. How many
I really just want to see what the candidate.
How many
I will say-
candidates
so
do
when
you
we put it on,
anticipate?
I will say when we put it on the McPherson and Jacobson website, what we're able to track is per month we get between 2,000 and 3,000 hits a month on our website. So for that, we will have, we get a good number of eyes looking on those things. And then we have other advertising venues too that I was going to bring up tonight too that you can talk about. Anywhere else that we can list that, but we'll have it on the typical LinkedIn, Facebook pages. We'll have it advertised online, the AASA, correct? Some of our school board associations. We'll have it out there. And go ahead.
I was going to say, the other thing to really notice in most of these searches is Dr. Joel's here. Usually people don't apply. People are out there looking for jobs. They usually apply the last week before the closing. So sometimes you go on there and say, oh, we've only got 3 or 4 candidates. The vast 95% of the applicants will come in the last week. Last week.
Okay.
And I was going to say too, that in this process is your process. So if at the end of that time, we look and we say, you know what, we don't think we have the candidate for you. You have that ability, and we'll go out again. And so we'll do it until we get the right one.
Okay.
No, what I was going to say is what Jennifer kind of said also, if this calendar doesn't work, we work for you.
Yeah.
the board. But this is a typical what it would look like, and not trying to get too late into the season.
Yeah. I think it's a good goal to have, but as you pointed out, if that we get to the point where the candidates you've brought to us are not what we think is going to be a good fit, that date's going to get pushed down
Yeah.
down the road. So we got to have a date to start with, so I'm good with.
Yeah, I think somewhere
24th.
between that and our March meeting is ideal.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will get that noted. So then working from there, I know you have your next board meeting is next week. What is your thoughts then on receiving the information from stakeholder groups? Because by that time, we would be able to present to you the feedback from what we got today. We wouldn't have the online yet. And either then, if you'd want us here in person, we'd have to schedule a special one, or we could email that to you, however you decide you would want that.
We could do the stakeholder one in person, especially
Okay.
for the community to see. I would just like it to also include who was in the stakeholder groups specifically, because we get a lot of flack on, oh, this was picked they already handpicked everybody. So that's really important for the community from a transparency standpoint. So I think if you guys could present that information.
Were those open invitation? Could anybody come to the stakeholder?
No, so I asked the leadership group is the leadership group. So that's all the directors, principals, all of that. So that's a leadership group. Then I asked every department to send representations for the classified group. And then each principal was asked to send a classified, and then teachers, whether they're secondary teachers or elementary teachers. So I believe secondary had 4 from each school, and then elementary had 3 from each school.
They were well attended. All groups were well attended. And we went over with those folks that if your colleague or somebody else didn't have a chance to come to the stakeholder group, they would have a chance to go online, be able to voice their opinions, comments on the survey.
Just for numbers' sake, for the leadership team, we had 20 people in attendance. From classified, we had 14. From the certified staff secondary, we had 9. For the elementary certified, we had 9 as well. So those are the numbers. Okay, and then after looking to the next calendar time we would need to look at would be in January. Like I said, we're going to close the applications on the 15th of January. And then at that time, we take those following couple of weeks to vet each candidate. And then looking to your February meetings, we would like to come on the 3rd, or if we need to do a special meeting, to bring those finalists to you. And the recommendation is typically 4 hours to work through that. So whether we do that on a board night or do a special meeting, that would be something we need to discuss.
So because the third is not a meeting, so that would be a special one. The 10th is our business meeting. And then, of course, that 24th is right now scheduled as a work study, but we can shift that to add, should
I
that be done.
would suggest a non-board meeting, so that a special meeting, because it's kind of a lengthy process to do this.
Yeah.
It is a lengthy process.
No, I know, but
Go for the third.
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
And it is a closed session.
If you choose, and we kind of recommend that will be a closed session, because some of these candidates, finalists will be, when you decide on who the finalists are, probably then it will go public. Some of these people, maybe some of their boards may not be aware that they're applying for jobs, so waiting until you get those finalists, and then they need to tell their boards.
So if you go 3rd, I'm out.
You're out?
Yep. That's what I'm saying. I would rather go one meeting on the 10th and go long, because my calendar's not good.
Can you
No.
go early on the 10th?
I'm literally out of.
Well, no, on the, if we did it on the 10th, can you meet?
Yeah, no, I
But
can-
you can't, because you're at school.
I
so-
can go early or late. Like, I'm fine going late too.
Anything else that week?
I'm traveling all that week.
You're talking about
Or the week before.
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah, so we've got nationals the end of the month in January for cheer, and then I've got work travel
After.
that following week. It sucks. Like, come and grab a suitcase and fly back out.
Okay.
So,
What about the 9th,
Next week.
before the other one? I think doing it in a board meeting would just be a mess.
It
Okay.
makes it a very, very long,
let's go Feb.
so if we could do it
See if I go.
outside of a regular
I can
scheduled
go
board
9th.
meeting, it
Yeah.
would be better.
If you want to do the 9th, Jeff, I'm in on that.
That works?
Yeah, if you want to do 9th, we do executive session, then we do normal meeting on the 10th. If that works for you guys, I can make that work.
That pushes it a week. Is that too far?
The only
Or is
thing
it-
that I was trying to give another week gap before the interviews was just if we were bringing people in from out of state to allow them the ability to
Time to book travel.
book it their travel. But I mean that if we do it on the 9th, and maybe have the interviews, depending how many finalists you have, maybe starting on the 18th or something like that, that should give them enough time. So if you want to do the 9th, that would work.
Yeah, let's say because you're going to do your 2-week vetting, so like the end of January is off the table.
Are you gone that whole last week of January?
Yeah. Well, I could do the 26th. I think
but
I think I
that's
fly.
only
Yeah,
10
but that
days, yeah.
doesn't that shortens their time span up.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
cut
No,
us.
no, I'm not gonna. No.
Okay, so 9th. Well, and again, I guess if we have to push our announcement week, because that's just a work study meeting.
Okay, so the 9th is good?
9th works.
9th works.
What
Okay.
time would you want to do that?
It's gonna go for like 4 hours and probably like 5,
5
right?
again.
5 o'clock?
5, okay. And then would they pick the days right now as far as interview? Do we wait on the interview process to talk about that? Or do that now? How do you want to do that?
January's my crazy travel month.
Okay. Okay. So then, if we're looking to the week of interviews on the 16th, we would need to at least have a couple of days. And I'm assuming 2 finalists. If you have 3 finalists, we would need to look at 3 days that we could have open, that you would have the opportunity then to meet with each candidate.
Travel that week?
And I guess, and then for the board to decide.
Yeah.
kind
Of
you're
interviews.
meeting with them, what kind of other process or other stakeholders do you want involved? And definitely, you guys will make the decision, but do you want other stakeholders involved in some sort of process, a meet and greet where they come and meet different stakeholder groups or come to a community forum? I mean, that's really, really up to you.
This is the initial,
This would be after you pick your finalists.
okay.
I'm just trying to.
The finalists out of the big bunch that have been,
So
of the
we are going to go
candidates.
through the mass, come to you with whoever we think the top 4, top 5, and then from there, that's what that February 9th meeting would be, is then you would take that time to select your final 2. And then how do you want to handle the interview process from that point? And that's kind of where we're at, if you would want your stakeholder groups involved or just the board.
So when we get to the final 5, 4 or 5, we don't get to have them present anything or interview with us except for the last 2? Is that what you're suggesting?
Typically, we would have, and again, it's all up to the board.
Yeah.
Typically, that's when we would share with you their video interviews. Usually from that point, with all their information, of
Yeah.
course, and the things that we'll also present about them as well. Typically from that, boards will be able to narrow it down.
In the packet that you'll get on the people that we present, number one, you'll get a video of them asking questions that the board would like them to answer in a video. You'll also get, we ask for pretty intense references, so you'll have references about where you're going to definitely be able to read their resumes, their track record, possibly what they've done in student achievement or on the operational side. Have they passed bonds? Have they passed levies? Have they, been in difficult situations? It'll be pretty intense for each one. And then from there, you might maybe you say, hey, I like this three, or I like maybe even four. We say two. We try to get it narrowed down because we're trying to save you folks. If there's not a maybe. But really trying to get it narrowed down to 2 to 3 finalist applicants, and then they come in person.
So we won't have an opportunity to see the applications of all of the
Oh,
applicants?
you can go on at any time and be able to see the who's applying. But we would also be able to come to you at that meeting if you're saying, hey, why wasn't this person pulled to why didn't you present this person? And we would be able to back up the reasonings why we didn't present that person.
Investigated by fraud right now, or they're on
Yeah.
file of assistance twice in various districts.
No, and that's the things that we want to know. I'm thinking back from past experience going through this.
But if the board, to your question, President, to your question, the board will have access to all the applicants. You probably have the board members sign confidentiality agreements because you're going to see some confidential information. But you will, if you want access to that, to each and every applicant, we can get you access to this.
I would prefer that, actually. Because in the past, we went through the applications, and the entity that helped us, they did all of the due diligence, background searches and everything. We went through, picked out who we thought might be a good fit, and then that opened the discussion with, the first one we picked, maybe something came up in the background search, so we tossed that one out, and we each one of us numbered our candidates how we wanted, in preference. We ended up picking, I think, maybe 5, and then we interviewed those 5, and then after we interviewed the 5, we narrowed it down to 3. And that one, I think, was during COVID, because we did an online town hall.
Yeah, I remember watching the top
Yeah.
3.
And before the town hall, I think we had questions submitted. I don't think anybody can submit questions during. But there was an opportunity for the community to kind of have an introduction to see who a potential superintendent might be. And then after that, I don't remember if we interviewed, then I think after the town hall, then we interviewed the 3 again, and we picked who we wanted. So,
And Madam President, like we said, we can do it however you guys want.
mean,
We're thinking, our job is to make your job easier, hopefully.
No, if the applications are available, that we can
Yes.
see them, I don't see a reason why we have to have a meeting like this so we can sit and labor
Yeah.
through a stack of applications. It just would be helpful if we would have access to them so we
Yes.
could see, who we're not going to consider.
And if at
Yeah.
any time you do have a question, like why wasn't this person brought forward, we're more than happy to answer that. Like Dr. Joel would even say, you're going to have, we even have those frequent flyers who, any superintendent position that opens, same appliers. And it's like, so you may think, wow, this person looks really good, whereas we know on the back end, they've applied for every superintendent position that's out there. So we're just trying to save the board the headache of,
Oh, and I appreciate that, as I'm sure everybody else does.
Yeah.
You know, as I said, it just, so we, as long as we have access to see
Yes.
who all has an interest in us.
Yeah.
And then just heavy on the confidentiality,
Mm-hmm.
because I have worked with, not that this board will do this, I've worked with board members, and they went ahead and decided, well, I'm going to do the job of a consultant, and then they called up and said, well, tell me about it, I don't want to hear about this. And this person hasn't even told their board yet that they're thinking about applying to this position.
oops.
Oops. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it will be important for our community to at least see the last 2 or 3 that we're considering.
Yeah.
I know as a community member, not a board member at that time, I appreciated watching that process.
We're a small enough district that I think that, in general, that's the expectation from our community, that, you know, makes them feel good, whether their opinion is,
Yeah.
It also helps the applicants understand what they're for.
Very true.
yes.
Welcome to the show.
Hello.
So just real quick, I just had a question. You were saying that you're going to present the stakeholder stuff on the 9th of December.
Yes.
The online survey, was that planned on being at one of the January board meetings, or was that going to be just, just sending it to us?
Yeah, what I would do is I would send all the information to Jill. She would
Okay.
get that sent to all board members. And then if you maybe have a specific question on that, maybe use Jill again to email us and we can get any questions answered for you. And we'll
Okay.
just, when we reply, we'll reply to the whole board, so the whole board has all of that information.
All right.
Okay.
You were saying the dates matter. Are you saying like the amount of weekends the survey is open versus not?
Yeah, because if you're trying to get community involvement, I mean, there's always the move of when you first launch,
Yep.
and then how many consecutive days, and then what platforms are you hitting. It's all going to kind of lead to whether you get. I mean, we already have a challenge as it is, even though everybody talks a good game when you put a survey out.
Yeah.
Our survey numbers are generally pretty low. So that's my concern.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking about launching it on a Wednesday?
Which is
Yeah.
the 3rd.
Yeah. So you're going to go Wednesday.
Yep.
Ending on the 12th.
Ending on the 12th, Friday the 12th.
Just got to push it. That's all.
I didn't know if you wanted like 2 weekends, like till the 15th, or that 10 days is good for you.
2 weekends are fun. But I think we can make it work.
Okay.
Bill, with surveys that the district has sent out, has it been tracked, like when the most responses to the survey come in? Like, is it at the end of the survey window, at the beginning, or is it just sort of scattered throughout?
Well, it's usually pretty fresh. I know, I mean, with the last survey, the response is usually best when it's fresh, so when it first comes out and people get on it. The last one we just did, that'll be presented on the 9th as well. We did multiple Parent Square reminders throughout. So again, based on what you feel is necessary, we can, again, we'll have it posted on our site, but then certainly the first day, send it out to our business partners, to all of our families, and then we can do reminders from there.
All we got to do is get it in my hands and whisper. Shoulder, and it'll get out. Essentially, I mean,
No.
right? I mean,
But those who want to respond will find it to respond.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
get it in the noise's hands.
Okay.
Well, I think, and you do have indicators on there, whether they have a student, whether they're a community member, a business partner, a teacher, or a staff member, or, yeah.
Okay. So
Is it
Wednesdays.
anonymous?
It's anonymous, yes.
We should get a lot of engagement on that.
Yeah, I was hoping for some names.
But it will tell you if they were staff,
We can maybe
parent,
find
Yes,
IP
they
address.
select.
which category. Yeah.
I'm assuming you get it all cataloged, like probably Excel, and then you guys can filter down, and then,
Yep.
yeah, that's fine.
All right. Okay, we're good.
Good?
We're good.
Okay.
I,
Anything
just
else?
for that week of interviews, I am actually traveling Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I think Monday's a holiday,
Which week are we talking
the
about?
16th.
February. Yeah, 16th is a holiday.
Yeah, February. So I think everything's.
The only one that never
school's
goes
closed.
anywhere.
That's for work.
Tell him you can't go.
I'm like, I only have Monday or Friday. But Monday I know is a holiday for that week, unless we did like town hall interviews. Well, I guess it'd be nice if all three, it's hard not knowing if your
Can we do
candidates are going to
Friday
be
and
local
Monday?
or not.
As like the 13th and the 16th as interview days?
Yeah, or push it to the next week.
That's what I'm saying, so right now, let's kind of leave that. Let's
Yeah.
See where we land, and then, because out of state, there's gonna be a lot of moving parts to try and even go. "Hey,
That's
let's
true.
put our finger on it right this second."
Yeah,
I
we
know,
got to
it's
keep it
gonna
out
be
of,
hard.
keep it as,
Yeah.
out of, like, getting into mid-March, so.
No, 100%, but what I'm
Well,
saying
yeah,
is
yeah.
that instead of making it like, hey, finite,
Well, what's going to happen on this day? I just want to make sure. What's going to happen on this date when we have the 5 potential people? What are we going to be exposed to? What are we going to be seeing? It's not going to be them
Right, that's on the
in
9th.
person. That's later. So what are we actually going to receive on that prior week, the week of the 16th?
You're basically going to be receiving a presentation on those 5 individuals, being able to, if you hadn't had a chance to already, I'm sure privately you'll maybe watch your video if that comes out privately, but also as a group, we'll present the video.
Okay.
And so it's that narrowing down process of getting to your finalists from that group.
Also, Board Member Fortin and President Greer, at that time, we'd probably go over, we had this many applicants. We reduced it down to this many, and this is why, how we reduced it down to this many. And that would be a great time for somebody to say, hey, what about this person? Because we haven't called these people yet to tell them that they're a finalist, so we'd be able to have those conversations that you talked about.
So that 9th meeting is super important. Yeah.
Does that help, Board Member Fortin?
Yeah.
yeah, I think as long as we get stuff ahead, we can move fast versus just kind of like, sometimes
Right.
it's the surprise. It's like, just give it to me now, let me do my work.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, the goal is we'll leave that meeting with your 2 or 3 finalists that we will call and get set up to come out for their interview immediately after that meeting is completed.
That's the meeting on February 9th?
Yes.
Okay.
But just so we have it in our notes, Member Walker, you're gone the 17th, 18th, 19th of that week.
Yep.
Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Anybody else?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, because then the 16th is actually President's Day as well.
Yeah.
Instead of having them come separate days. do
I just
all-
didn't know if we pushed the 24th and announced it before spring break, if we needed to, or that used that last week.
Yeah. I mean, we could have all finalists be there on the 20th if we want to
Well, but
power through and.
announcing right after spring break isn't a bad thing.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
right
Well,
when
I was
we come
saying
back.
even right before.
Before, I mean, before, after.
For after, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, either is fine.
The most singular and important part is to
February.
The right, find the right person.
100%.
The announcement is just,
Is, that's,
Becomes secondary.
yes.
Yeah, yeah,
That might be
get to-
third dairy.
yep.
That's true.
I'll just take getting to that step.
Yes. We got to find the
Yeah.
candidate
Yeah.
first, but we
Yes.
could have a target date.
Yes.
What ratio are you seeing right now in state versus out of state? For what,
State
out
ver-
of state?
in-state versus out-of-state for ratio for applicants.
Probably say more out of state,
okay.
Really?
a little bit more out of state.
Out of state.
It really, just kind of depends.
Well,
And,
it's,
just like Arizona, other states are musical chairs, there's other people who are looking to apply, to move up to a district, or a assistant superintendents in larger districts looking to maybe take over a superintendency. It's really kind of all over the board.
Well, it's snowing in the Midwest right now, so this may look pretty attractive. Yeah. Yeah, well, we had some of those candidates last time. They were ready for like 2 years out before retirement, and this seemed like a suitable location for retirement.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay.
I will say for interviews, like if we're doing a town hall, it's probably better to do them all on the same day instead of trying to get your community out 3 separate or 2 separate times.
And then, but then trying to figure out the candidates that are here, so if they come on the 20th, we're gonna do interviews the day before, and then you're gonna wanna get some input before you make your decision, show that you've got input from the community, so trying to work the calendars, I think, important for you to consider on how you want those changes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I can do it on the February
I mean,
23rd.
even if you did your town hall on the 19th, since you will be gone, then the board could do their interviews on the 20th and hopefully make a selection before the weekend.
That would work. Okay,
Okay.
all right.
And then with the town hall, are you thinking an open town hall, and then sometimes with an open town hall, even just a call up from a board member to, you don't invite anybody, you let it open to anybody, but for you to maybe reach out to 2 or 3, 4 or 5 people that you know and say, hey, we're having this, really appreciate it if you can do it.
Yeah, generally, if you open it up to the community, we don't have any problem with people showing up for something like this. Yeah. Well,
Okay, so let me
And are
just,
they preparing questions ahead of time, or is this a off-the-cuff questions? What are,
no off-the-cuff questions, please. No, that is something that in the January board meeting, we would talk about. We would go over what those interview questions are going to look like.
that January 9th?
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, you want to
Wait, January 9th?
Or sorry,
February 9th.
February 9th. Which January meeting were you? I don't have a
Okay, I would love to have one in the January at some point where we can establish interview questions.
Okay, so January, we have January 13th. Remember, we flip-flop meetings in January because January 13th is the first meeting, and that's typically when we just elect officers. And that's a relatively short meeting, so I don't know if that's one we would want to piggyback this with. So if January 13th works, their first business is to elect officers for the upcoming year. And then that's typically it for that meeting. However, we can add a session to that meeting about questions if that works for you guys.
Yes,
Okay.
and that will go smoothly and quickly if each board member wants to take time from here until then to come up or think about a couple interview questions that they would like to ask, to already come prepared with maybe some would help the meeting. Okay, so let me just reiterate what I have on my calendar. I have next week on the 9th to go over the stakeholder group information. And then I have that we will email you the online survey when that is complete. And then I have for January 13th, that's when we will establish our interview questions. And then in February, and then I have the position closing on the 15th of January. And then coming back to the board February 9th at 5 p.m., where we'll go over all the finalists, pick our top 2 or 3, and then reserve the 19th and 20th for interviews, in-person interviews, and then have the position announced on the 24th. That sound good?
That meeting on the 13th, if we're going to, is it an open meeting when we're going to come up with questions for the interview?
We typically do.
Okay.
And, go ahead.
No, well, did you ask if we were going to come up with?
No, we were going to come up with the questions. My question is, are we doing that in an open session? Because this is recorded and it's posted online, and so do we?
In most of the districts, what's happened is you would forward those to the administrative
Okay.
assistant. The administrative assistant would have those questions from the board members.
But when we talk about them at the board meeting, are we doing that in open session? That's,
Well, we're not going to discuss the questions in open session. Okay, that's where I was. We send them to Jill.
And if the board would like, we can send you some sample of questions for the boards if that's something you want.
Well, right, and what do they do then? Because I think I understand what they're saying. So, okay, so
Yeah.
let's say all of them submit 5 questions. So do we put 1 through 25 numbered on a piece of paper, and then they go through and say, well, we want 2, 7, like, how do they ultimately take
Yeah.
the 25 questions they've suggested? And her concern is if we're talking about them in public, it's recorded, then the people who are going to be applying already know the questions. I don't know if that's,
Yeah, that's
if
what
I'm.
Well, that's why I was asking.
So then do we go into executive session is what she's asking. Do we go into executive session to talk about the potential hire of a superintendent and use that?
Okay.
So the 13th will be electing the officers and then excused into executive session. Okay.
Okay.
and there we can also talk a little bit more about compensation package as well, since we'll be in executive session.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, good?
Good.
All right, phew. That always feels like a success, just getting that part done. All right, so as far as advertising, I said what's included when we advertise the position, it will go on our website, our Facebook page, Twitter, LinkedIn, school board associations, school administrator associations, things like Indeed, Glassdoor, Monster. There's some additional things you could do for purchase. I don't know how, have you had any districts do the additional?
Yeah, usually some districts will do it, but to be honest with you, I think when districts are trying to save money, the additional amount, people are looking for a superintendent's job, they're going to go to superintendent's jobs, and it'll save you some money, or they'll go to the Arizona's site. It's going to be out there. So
Yeah.
I asked that specifically of Dr. Joel, the regional manager, and he said usually, not always, but usually smaller districts enough to save the money because it's going to be out there.
And another thing that I know personally as a consultant, anytime, anywhere, there's an opening, every consultant that works for McPherson and Jacobson, which is over 150, I believe, we get notified and we get asked to put it out within the groups that we know as well. So it does definitely the information gets pushed out. But wanted to definitely offer, if you wanted further advertising, that's something that we can do as well.
What's the further advertising?
They have like Education Week online, Education Week print, and they're not cheap. They want,
No.
they want like $495 minimum to start, like a month. It's pretty.
That's a print
Yeah.
publication?
No, the print the print starts at minimum of 400. That's all they say,
well.
minimum. The online is $495. So I think we have a good
Yeah, my
Selection.
personal feeling is, it sounds like you've got a lot of all the
Yeah.
bases covered. And anybody who would subscribe to some of the extra publications or sites, they're already going to be accessing what you have included. So I don't think right now that there would be a need, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
we're good.
All right. And we'll run that the duration of time till on the 15th. So, and then now we're going to go to getting our solidifying kind of what you guys are looking for that we can put out with our brochures and advertising materials. We put about top 5 items that the board is looking for in a superintendent. And so what we're asking, I hope everybody has a blank sheet of paper. Does anybody have a blank piece of paper? If not, Dawn can get you some. But on this blank, this is just going to be kind of silent, alone time here for a second. But what I would like for the board to do would take about 5 minutes or so and write down important skills, qualities, characteristics
I need
that
them.
you would want your next superintendent to possess.
Thank you. Okay. How many do you want? 5?
However many you want to write down, all your important skills and qualities. And then we're going to kind of round robin answer that.
My guess is you're going to be your stakeholder groups, they've already went through this, and you're going to be probably on your stakeholder groups.
Did you want to scribe or do you want me to scribe? Okay. Oh, you got, okay. Do you want a black Sharpie? He's got. I'm getting this right now. 5 for each of them. So right now, I'll go through them. Just start laughing at me, and it's up here on the list. Keep going. Yeah. And then, well, so then, so after that's done, then in order, and then I was write this down, so let me just. this one is just until their list is, everything's been listed. And then from there, they'll pick their top 5 off of the list, because somebody may have something but they rank their 5. Characteristics, skills, yeah. How we doing? Good? Okay.
Prior leadership experience.
Does it have to be prior superintendent experience or just prior leadership?
Prior leadership, I mean, I don't know that we
Leadership.
have to have.
Given where we've been in the past,
No, that would count. In my opinion, I mean. And that's fine. Every board will have. Yeah, this is just my opinion, but I don't think they. In my idea, they don't have to have prior superintendent experience, because that would probably rule out a lot of really good candidates potentially. So.
someone who is financially literate when it comes to school financing. Arizona school financing,
Just gonna start checking my things.
yes.
Well, let's see, I was, how do you want to put this, but understanding of the small community that has very strong opinions about what it wants, and it often doesn't like change.
Open-minded.
The community,
Yeah.
yeah, community culture, yeah. I have a very good communicator. And with that, the ability to communicate like hard decisions to the, and why, the why behind it. But to me, that's all under communication.
It's all good. Business background.
Can you expand on that, just for me?
Yeah.
Because business is a big word, you know what I mean, that encompasses a lot.
It is broad stroke, but business background. If you think about where we are in education, right, it's shifting. So having someone that has a little bit more like business background, you're going to start thinking about product. and you're just going to, the separation of education, like educators and business people have some commonalities and they have some separations. But I think where we're going, having a little bit of business experience will edge into how they navigate where we're going.
Okay,
That makes sense?
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
Ability to have tough conversations and fully answer questions without deflection. Without deflection. So, ability to have tough conversations and fully answer questions without deflecting the question, which we see a lot of today. Probably.
Yeah, the communicator.
Just the ability to fully answer questions without deflecting to something non-relevant.
So are you talking more like extreme ownership?
Well, sometimes, yes.
Hypothetically.
Someone who's a visionary, but is squarely focused on achievement, because students today are not the students that we had even 10 years ago. And so we got to have somebody who's an outside-the-box thinker, I guess, a visionary. Covered two of mine.
I think you get there. I see where you're going, but yeah, I think you.
Well, you can be, go ahead.
Respect for and understanding of the profession of teaching.
I have being able to balance parent wants or parent needs and staff needs.
We see them sometimes.
I kind of feel like, so I have strong negotiation skills, which kind of does tie into that last line. Well, no, it doesn't tie into it. It's a little bit separate because, again, when you're talking about contracts, you're talking about different things. I think having a strong negotiation ability, and it also plays into balancing between teachers and parents because everything's a negotiation.
Negotiate, compromise.
I don't use the word compromise anymore because it's more of a negotiation. Nobody compromises anymore. I've learned that sitting up here.
Yeah, true. Fair.
Previous demonstration of longevity in a position, meaning, we're I probably should stop thinking this, but we're a unique district. I'd just like to see somebody with a track record of more than a year here, a year there. I just want to be able to look at where they've come from, how long they've been there, what their investment is with it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For our unique district here, I'm thinking it would be beneficial to have someone who could find opportunity in the face of challenge.
A willingness to make and stand by tough decisions, even when possibly the community feedback goes otherwise.
Willingness to stand by tough decisions when not popular at all. That came up with almost every stakeholder.
Sure, yeah.
Shocking.
Be over there. If we believe this is good for kids, we believe this is good for staff, this is the process of proceeding.
I have somebody that's good at like PR or marketing. Just to me, they kind of go a little hand in hand. Goes with a lot of those communication ones that are on there. Like some of these are very similar. Yeah, I think knowledge, or at least knows how to understand and put the right people in place to execute that.
I'd say track record of building a winning culture. Winning culture, yeah. There's another Sharpie right.
Oh yeah, there's a few in front of him.
Things are tough here, you know.
We're on a budget.
Telling you, bring your,
I
that's the
wa- I
next
wasn't
one,
sure
bring
if
your own
the marker was
Sharpies.
running out, or if
I'm
his-
looking forward to
his
the pay
writing
plan
was just
discussion.
getting smaller.
Is there writing?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Hey, bring your magnifying glass. Who's next?
I think I am.
Okay.
Compassionate but not overly emotional.
Ooh, look at that.
See where you're going.
You do?
A motivator and a coach.
Let's see, thick-skinned and being able to not take some of the things that are brought at him personally.
Passion, emotion, ability to process without being emotional.
I would love to see somebody that's in the community, at least feels that they're a part of the larger community, not just the school district, because that's kind of what makes us unique.
Someone invested in.
Yeah.
Somebody's experienced in turning a district around, because that means they've gone through some war. They got some good wounds.
Yep.
I mean, show me you've done it. Don't tell me. Just like, yeah, I would say on that one is like somebody that has experience in turning something, like whether it's turning something around or building something from scratch.
Just
right?
redirecting it sometimes.
Show me you've got the rigor. Because it's easy to go walk into a district that's been built right, handed to you, the keys are great, car runs great, and you're great. It's another thing to have to go into what this superintendent walked into and have to fight your way out of it, right? So, give me somebody that's scrappy.
Scrappy.
I'm being honest. Like, I mean, I like scrappy leaders because they're relentless.
Mine are basically all done. Either I said them or they were said here. The only other one I have, but it's really kind of encompassed in there, is, good people skills. So that's kind of in there, I think.
Communicator.
The last,
Being able to communicate well with all the stakeholders. That's a big deal here, so, yeah,
Yeah, communicators like that's
it.
yeah.
communication.
What
is the
I had
key.
left was someone who's not afraid of a challenge, but that kind of.
That's a scrappy person.
That's a scrappy
I mean, honestly,
person.
I've used the word scrappy in descriptions because it's like it speaks differently.
Scrappy.
Well,
What's scrappy?
if you are scrappy, apply here.
I'm looking for a scrappy, unconventional, like calculated risk taker that has extreme ownership. Dude, I'm assuming we've summed up a couple things like risk taker. I think strategist ties to visionary, unconventional thinker. Those are kind of baked in those, right? I just want to make sure I'm crossing them out. I feel like it's in there. I like creativity, unconventional thinker, someone that's, and I like the risk taker that's, bold and says, hey.
Bill, since you're sitting in this seat, what would you add to our list?
Are we missing anything?
Patience.
I think you've done a good job describing a great candidate for this school district. So I don't know that there's anything missing. I think I can weave in and out what you guys have all come up with.
Can I add some comments about some of the things we put up there, just based on prior experience going down this road? I don't know who made the comment about someone that had leadership, but not necessarily a prior superintendent.
That was me.
That was you.
Thank you very much.
We had a superintendent that had no superintendent experience, was in administration prior to, and I'm not really sure. It was probably a lot of things that led to that superintendent not being here anymore, but my sense was there wasn't a real understanding of what a superintendent role truly involved. You can be an administrator, you can be a principal, you could have all kinds of great leadership roles, but
Well,
I'm sure, Bill, when you stepped into this role, it was kind of baptism by fire. And so.
Yes, ma'am.
So, we're looking for somebody who wants to be here for more than a year or two. And so somebody that's got some experience as a superintendent, I think, would be beneficial. It's not a deal breaker, but I'm just throwing this out as just
I see
keep
where-
it would be preferred.
Well, I see where you're going, but I think the piece to that, Miss, is we sometimes mistake the word leadership in title. So there's a leader in title, and then there is a leader.
Mm-hmm.
A leader can operate without title.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
feel them, their presence is strong. They have the understanding and ability to come in regardless of understanding the job that they're walking into. They know how to walk in and seek to understand. They understand how to pick apart stakeholders and navigate and start walking into what they need to know and the decisions that they need to make over time. So that's a separation of, you could be whatever title that was before, but a leader by definition is 100% different than just saying somebody
Oh,
that had
of
the
course.
title of.
Of course. And I just threw that out there, just, based on, I'm like the historian on this board.
Well, and since you asked, I will actually chime in. One thing I don't see, I think it might be baked into some things, and it actually, when Member Moore was talking about, so coming from a place of service, and because that to me ultimately is often who are the leaders as they come at things from how can I serve others and how can I lift them up, which goes, I think, Fortney, you talked about parents and staff and understanding all of those things. So I guess maybe that's the one word I don't see on this list that I might add would be just this place of coming from service, because that's what a coach is, which was mentioned earlier. That's the type of leader who leads without a title because they're taking care of the people to the left and right of them. So they become the leaders even though they don't have that title necessarily. So that's the one piece I would add.
Servant leadership, yeah. It's more fun to leave it off the table because it's something you want to extract.
Fair, I'm fine. You leaving it off the table and extract it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was just answering your question.
No, but it's a very strong trait that very few actually have, because ego gets in the way of service.
One other comment, there's something on there, somebody who's in the community or understands the community. We need to have authenticity in there, or authentically, not somebody who's.
Not someone who's going to wear a cowboy hat and call themselves a creeker.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Did I miss that rodeo?
No cowboy hats.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. No, we just want somebody who authentically wants to understand who we are and not put a cowboy hat on and pretend to understand, because we are a unique community.
I think also want to be a part of it. I do want somebody that's going to show up on rodeo days and want to be a part of the parades. And I mean, between the town of Carefree and Cave Creek, there's a lot of community events that I think are important for the district to play a role in. Yeah.
But someone's got to take the handoff.
Yeah.
Well, and that's part of the handoff, right? The one thing that Superintendent Dolezal's done a fantastic job is he's put more root in the community. So that's almost like a non-negotiable. That torch has to be passed, and that's an expectation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But I think that's a big understanding for whoever's coming in.
And that's part of that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was on my list of when we get over to that conversation of what do we want you to pass on. That is a huge piece, because that does kind of suppress some of the noise that we get because of these community relationships. So that is a big part. But I mean, again, I do believe where you're going with that one, President Greer, on the just being authentic. I think just being a genuine human is going to be something that kind of is, I mean, that's a hard one to get through in the interview process, but I mean, there are some ways that you can get there, but we got to try and find that person that's just I'm comfortable in my own skin. I don't need to put on the facade and wear a cowboy hat, right? No.
We'll probably take points away.
Hey, unless they're legit, you found them out of Wyoming and they're coming off a ranch, and that's kind of hey, okay, I'll believe that. But if they're coming from some kind of metropolitan, I'm gonna be like, wrong house.
Tempe.
Yeah.
Anything.
You're weighed and measured. You're weighed and measured every second in this district. I mean, that is the unfortunate, which is, probably the biggest thing, at least for me personally, scares me to death, is that, we use the word experienced superintendent. It's yeah, but we're not unique in any case. I don't believe that. But what I would say is that there's a pressure because we are under constraint, meaning we're being compressed more and more. So it's a dogfight to the finish line. So either whoever we get, we're going to burn them out quick, which is a high probability.
Well, that's optimistic.
They're gonna have a little, spice in their life, and they're gonna, hey, this is a lot of fun, and I'm in for the dogfight. It's gonna be one or the other.
Let me read these to you. Some of them, she's going to have to come up and read them. So I have prior leadership with proven quality experience. Some experience in turning the district around at a different level. Some experience in turning around financial literacy. Hopefully, you don't have Arizona knowledge of finance, the ability that you're going to come up fairly quick. I don't know the quality of your CFO, but a lot of times, you have a great CFO.
He's pretty rock solid.
That CFO can bring up that
Yeah.
CFO.
I think if they have literacy, they'll be just fine.
I think more with that though, like if we're getting out of state, you'll get some maybe small Midwest town, but all they have is public schools and it's very well funded, where in Arizona, you're kind of set up to supplement having a bond and override and understanding that, which we don't have, so.
A great communicator.
Probably never will.
Yeah.
Understanding the small community culture, being authentic with that. Scrappy, not afraid of challenges. Great communicator, ability to communicate hard decisions, and as well as when you make that decision to why, you have to fully answer questions without deflecting. Servant leadership, business background, risk taker, creativity, visionary focused on a visionary that's focused on student achievement, respect, understanding for professional teaching, ability to balance parent and staff needs, and then communicate, come up with a difficult decision, right? Having strong negotiation skills, record of longevity and commitment to the institution you're serving, finding an opportunity in the face of challenges, willingness to stand by tough decisions, and not popular by all. This came out with absolutely almost all stakeholders, make a decision if everybody's everybody's kind of aware of the process and making those decisions. PR, marketing experience, track record for a winning culture, for creating a winning culture, compassionate and non-emotional, motivator and coach, thick skin, ability to process, not take things personal, and someone else.
Can I just add emotional intelligence?
Oh, yeah.
Strong emotional intelligence.
Oh, EQ.
As I was going through this.
Yeah.
So we're going to have you do next. I have 5 post-its. And I want you to be able to, out of that list, your top 5.
Okay.
Could he bring the list over here a little bit? As it went down, your writing got smaller and smaller.
So put one answer per sheet.
It's a little light, but I think it'll be okay. We might have to.
So just
get
our
up
top
and go
5?
over it.
Top 5, yep.
Top 5.
Then you come up and
I like Scrappy just because I'd like to see them on a job description.
It's all right. I'm already, that's one of my favorite ones. It's just a personal thing.
It's good for here.
Right?
Are we numbering these or just general?
We can just give you our.
Are we just? Or,
Yeah, so when, after you write your 5, I want you to determine your highest and then your number 5.
gotcha.
And then fill in 2, 3, 4. So at least we know your top and then your one that's the least on the list.
Bill, are you making your list?
It's a different, here's my papers.
Goes with that, so.
That's hard. Some of these are super
Well,
simple.
like a motivator and a coach, that goes into being a good leader.
Emotional intelligence will
Oh, no, here it
make a
is.
decision on the
So
decision.
then there's like,
Exactly.
like this is what other boards have done.
There's my,
So somebody who's
And a risk taker is
So we can come on.
not,
combined, but they just don't want to
We-
super long.
yeah, yeah, hey, you know,
Yep, and if, yeah, we can kind of.
I just want somebody who's authentic.
Should get that emotional intelligence too. Emotional intelligence actually checks that. Emotional intelligence, secure, self-aware.
Okay. Spelling sucks.
Just say like, because some of these are pretty long, I could even just record like
We can put them down, we can send them to them,
that.
get finalized tonight.
We didn't get it tonight, so what I might do, I might just record it on my phone, what you say, because then I can put it into a. You think that would be good? Or should I sit there, write down and read them what they want? I can do that too, maybe I'll do that. Yeah, once we get there, yeah, I'll write it.
I know a lot of them are very similar. We get these to you? Oh, and give them runs? Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Strong communicator. Nope.
Great communicator.
So that's, yeah, okay.
Communicator. I was just gonna write one word just so it all, like. Burp, burp.
Anybody else on communicator?
By decision, by being
Oh, you combined a bunch.
What in the holy word jumble did you just do?
I could have mixed a bunch too, but I just. Yeah.
Man, that's some dirty pool.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's that politician. That's that politician thing coming out of you, buddy.
We're just like 2 words. You and I.
Because I can put them in with all of the little buckets. Okay.
Oh, man. Our 1, 2, 3 is exactly the same.
That's actually kind of funny.
It's hilarious.
Oh, I'm going to get leadership experience, which is kind of
Put it up there on the top.
yeah. You can put yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm playing off of member Fortney over here, that encompasses a lot of those things on there that are around leadership. That's why I just said leadership. See, that's why I did leadership, because it's servant, extreme. Did you say scrappy? It's my number 4. Love me some scrappy. Yeah, you guys can't cheat over there. Hey, I like your style. Strong emotional intelligence. I was over there. Oh, you kept it simple that go around. I see. Okay, fair enough. Just I see what you did there. I mean, they're hypothetically emotional intelligence is encompassing of all of that, but I mean. Well, yeah, I mean, if they are in that bucket. We should have brought popcorn for Bill for this. Scrappy. See, we differ. Hey, at least our tops were aligned. Hey, I mean, you guys forced me into this seat. If we want to do that next year, we could play seat roulette next year. You became the vice president. Well, I heard there was an over-under bet I wasn't going to make it, so this is the seat that always leaves. That's why you guys put me here. I kind of like my corner seat. I like being the outlier. Yeah. If I was too close to Janet, she'd hit me when I was out of whack. Oh, yin and yang on that. Good luck on you. Strong negotiation skills. Scrappy's a different animal. Phil's getting a chuckle out of that one. What's that? No, but if you are in business, you will invest in that. So, but that's what I'm saying. The differentiating leadership is that right there. Is leadership understands I have value in this. This is my internal customer, and then I have my external customer. Both. And you can't have the best external customer service if you don't have the best internal customer service. So if you ain't loving on the people that are making business work, you got problems. Scrappy, huh? Well, grit has a nuance to it, but it loses the fight, that edge. You gotta have, like, someone's gotta have that hunger, 100%. And I am wicked in that arena, so Scrappy has always been. Communicator was probably the most dominant, it looks like. I'm trying to figure out how do we wordsmith that into a brochure? Scrappy. Mm. Yeah. Opportunity. Yep. A true optimist. Yeah, glass is half full all the time. There you go.
Ability to make a difficult decision, ability to explain how you made that difficult decision.
Yep. Statement has good and bad to it, so you gotta be careful.
These are just some samples from those.
No, it's not all good.
That's the idea that we will use with your answers.
We'll send them, we'll get them to you, or you, the board notes.
Perfect.
And if you want to.
And Don, just so you know, we send a weekly update every Friday to every member of the board, so we may have to divert from the schedule as necessary and send some things out. But just so you know, if you get things to us, there's definitely that opportunity that, they take the opportunity. But again, if there's other thing that's time sensitive or anything like that, we'll send stuff out in between. But
Say the sooner that we can get it to you,
Well, it's good.
We're innovators.
I mean, listen, if you're not bold, no one takes you serious. I'm not, listen, don't look at me like that. I can read.
So you're going to get me a draft. Well, you're going to get, sorry, you're going to get Jill a draft. She's going to send it to all the board members. Do we need an okay from them or any revisions they send back? And we send that to you, or? Okay. Okay, so we'll send that out tomorrow if we get it by the end of business or first thing Wednesday morning. Okay, so look for that email Wednesday morning at the latest. And I'll text, you want me to text you guys too when I resend it? I'll do a check your email.
Either way, yeah.
Although there's a lot of good. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Well, if you notice, they don't even. Yeah. They don't even really sometimes use the words. They just do a great storytelling description. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. No, I like some of the like. I mean, one of them has even kind of some of our board norms in it. It's kind of a leading point. Students first.
People like it's not a
Understanding. See? Not that far off the mark there.
last thing, when we get ready to make the compensation. But for us to have some sort of if you want to look at a range, give us a range. Or like sizes.
Well, I would say it would need to be more, I would just suggest something similar to that because our neighbors are 30,000 students and that's a different,
Yeah. Last time we don't even hit the actual mark of all they did. I don't know, every district in Arizona mark on superintendent members because we were too low. Oh, the balancing act.
But we just don't know how you want to spend it.
The only way we bail out on that is performance based. I mean, that's how startups work. Startups don't have. Yeah, you guys range up? Tough bag of tricks to crack right now.
And you can even potentially put something that might include experience. So if they're coming with, again, since you guys have brought that up, correct, competitive with like size districts and
Experience-based pay package or something like that. You could just say starting at. Well, and honestly, it saves time too. Because if you just put the number on the table, that person that's looking for that 450, the Gilbert, it's going to get them off the table real quick with us. That's not us, Fred. Oh.
Because they did not get along. I would say for the most part, it seems at least to me. It means a lot to a superintendent.
I'm retiring like Superintendent Dolezal at the end of term. I like my startup world. That doesn't include us.
Everybody thinks board members get paid.
Oh. We either get paid or we're on the take, and I'm really kind of curious what we're taking from this district because there ain't much to give.
Years off your life.
Facts.
can I encourage us to get back on track?
It's only 7:01. We're ahead of schedule, man. We're on the wrap up. I figured out where we're at in the process. I was trying to duck that one. Can the finance guy provide us that range?
He's not here.
I know. All parking, full package, somewhere around 225. Yeah, I know. No, I'm saying full package. No, I'm saying full package. But yeah, base is 135 to 150, probably on the low end, and then it goes up from there, right? Take a guess. think just putting a base starting at, use the word base, and then. Yeah, based on experience and, yeah, it's based on experience.
Is there anything else we can do? Any other questions that we?
I do like this layout on this.
No, it tells a good story.
Thank you all for your job.
Thank you.
Massachusetts, evidently. In their hot state.
And they have so much money, they fight over where to spend it. Go figure.
Yep.
And there are lots of great things that happen.
Yes,
Anything else? Okay.
Okay, so our next, well, you guys will present on the 9th next week, so that's our next
Okay.
thing. And survey goes live on Wednesday.
Okay. All right.
So moved.
thing I would say
Oh.
for that presentation,
Didn't get there
if
yet.
you want to jump in on that one, is I would use that as far as the groups that's mostly
Internal groups.
it's an internal. I would stick with that and say the surveys for separate that, because what's going to happen is I'm just going to get ahead of the negativity. They're going to think that the community was excluded. They're going to start drawing their own rumor mill. Let's just nip it. Hey, this was based on staff.
Do you want us to bring up the one leadership?
I think absolutely. No, I think
Yeah.
absolutely.
Bring it up. This is for the community.
But
The
someone-
survey
you
is-
just got to be pretty dialed. Yeah, you know how communities think.
Well, and like we said, there was a lot of similarities, but I think when I present the differences that each group,
No, I think that's where I'm more like trying to like
make sure that everyone is.
the marketing brain in me is trying to get away from the like how do I get the negativity?
Yeah, and just make sure, I think during that it's a great way to say, hey, we really need the community to do the survey.
Community's really going to weigh in on this survey.
And we get with the stakeholder groups, usually you talk to our son. We're board elected in the stakeholder group, they're electing to do the community survey.
I think that's a great
And they're
statement from the when you guys are doing a readout. Like, hey, I just want to commend you guys.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Your transparency.
Make sure to do that with each group, just let them know.
That achieves our goal, which is trying to be
Yeah.
transparent. This isn't some slam dunk, sleight of hand game.
No, and let the community's going to have a lot of involvement, so
But
especially.
we also let them know, it's gonna be these 5 people that you.
Yeah.
We know.
Trust me.
But sometimes they don't, they
No.
so that don't know.
But along that way, we just want to communicate. Very open like.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn this special meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned, and it is 6:07,
7:06.
or 7:06, excuse me.